footage. Hey guys, it's Jake, making the vlog. You know, certain weird people that drive by and shit. Just kind of getting my business. I don't like it, but okay. I'm making the vlog on virginity. For first topic. Now, virginity is a clear meaning and definition of someone who has never had, believe in any kind of sexual intercourse. Funny subject. Not everyone that's a virgin is sexually active. Not everyone that's not a virgin isn't sexually active in some way that has to do orally with sexuality and sexual orientation and sexual intercourse in some way that isn't significantly legitimate. But in the vlog, you know, talking about, you know, being a virgin, or who's a virgin, who's not. I have lost my virginity at the age of 7. 7 is when I lost my virginity. Now, you see in this vlog, people that hate people that have a meaning to them is not my problem. And I pray that people don't make that my problem. Because I don't like people who make fun of people. You know, it's not a good thing to make fun of people. But it is what it is. So, talking about the types of people who will quote you on your age of lost virginity, your age of still remaining a virgin, quite the say as far as, on top of that, being an early bird and losing your virginity early, or losing it later in life. Being a late in life virgin. What does it mean to be a late in life virgin? Well, you can see that there are people that lose their virginity at a young age, at an average age, amateur age, which, if you're not a cool person and you don't get it, I am not cool with amateur people. I'm not a big fan of amateur people, even girls, unless they're cool people. If they're not snidey and negative and, you know, harshly judging and biting you at the corner of your skin, I think that, you know, it's all good to have amateur friends. Now, people say, oh, I lost my virginity at 16, 17, 16, 17. You're just a face in the crowd. There's people who lose their virginity at my age, 7. People lose their virginity at ages like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You know, you're just a face in the crowd if you lost your virginity at the age of 16 or 17. You are considered a late in life virgin. Anything past the age of 15. I would say 14, but 14 is still a little bit early. But if you're 15 and you haven't lost your virginity, you're just like someone in their 30s or 40s or late 20s. Why that is because if you just go back in time and you think about life and all the people you haven't kissed, and you're at the age of 16, that's not good. You know, that's late. So if you're making fun of someone who lost their virginity 7 years earlier than you, or even 8, 9, or 10, you're just a face in the crowd. You know, and why that is because a life is spanned. Life is long, right? So say that if you lost your virginity at the age of 16, 17, you went 16 years without even fucking anyone in your whole life until the present time in the current moment of you being at the age of 16 or 17. People slay him. If you slay him clean at like 5, 6, 7, 8, that's an early bird. Even 14 is still considered early, but isn't the earliest, logically speaking and factually. So the declaring subject of you being 16 or 17 and judging someone that lost their virginity almost 8 years younger than you is not something that is a cute thing to be like, a cute person to be like or do. It's not cute. It's negative, 1. It's irrelevant, 2. And 3, you have no say. I'll just take one for the team. Most people fuck around young, but not always lose their virginity at the youngest age. But being 16 or 17 and losing your virginity at the age of 16 or 17 is nothing to brag about. People could do way earlier than you. Go that way. Is that an irrelevant type of attitude to have? Why? If I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I know everything and every single thing I'm talking about right now to you guys, or you, whoever's watching this, is not an irrelevant thing, or an irrelevant person to be in, a relevant attitude to have. It's not. Being a virgin at the age of 7 and losing it at the age of 7, think of someone who lost it before that piece in the centimeter mark of the spectrum, before even saying that they're 7 and still virgin. Right there. Just a face in the crowd. To be like me, you gotta be early in the game. If you're not early in the game, it's no good. Because past makes history, people. Past makes history. The earlier you start, the history you make. The earlier you're in the game, you're more experienced than anyone. And it's just what it is. It doesn't have anything to do with, what people think of you or what they say about you, because people do judge a person by the person they are, and not always the qualities. But that doesn't matter. If it is what it is, you have to deal with the fact that it is just what it is. Now, getting into the late in life virgin topic of why you shouldn't be afraid or ashamed or embarrassed is because there's people I know in their 50s that are still virgins, their 40s, 30, there's some that are 39, 38, late 20s, mid 30s, early 30s, late 30s. Don't trip about it. It's not that it happens when it happens, it's just when the time is right and you feel like you want to get nasty, you down. You are down to make love within sexual connection and sexual intercourse. That's your deal. That's awesome. Being 40 and still a virgin, if you're a bad motherfucker, you could be slapping people making fun of you. You could be slapping them across the head. You could be chucking hands at them, their faces. You know what I'm saying? So being like 40 and still a virgin ain't a bad thing. Being in your 60s, kind of. I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing wrong with it, but you might want to get on it if you're in your 60s. Your 50s, it's kind of let that be. If you're still 50 and still a virgin, let it be for a little while, not too long, not even long. Because the reasons is that you want to get your fill as early as you can. The rest of your 120 span wide, length, extended life that God has given you. Okay? Per se, people will judge you if you're a late in life virgin. People are faggots. People want to have sex. They're all about sex. If you're not in the game right now, if you're not fucking, they'll judge you. It's part of life. It's part of life to be an early bird. It's a part of life to be a late bird. Either way, special. But I'm telling you, if you're in the average part of the spectrum, if you're 16, 17, do not judge even the later birds. You are just a face in the crowd. If you're no good, think it's cool to lose your virginity at 16, 17? Leave. You're no good. You're no good. Okay? Now, it's either early or late. Whatever party you are on the spectrum, if it's way late, way early, that's good. Okay, don't be in the middle. It's stupid. They're just snidey teenagers, snickily having sex, early, kind of early, like the parents wouldn't let them, but not the earliest. Just fuck them. Okay? It's about the now. It's about right now, not fucking around. Because I'll make a clear comment. Do not fuck around. Because people that fuck around and judge, they're unstable, they're wrong, they're toxically disgusting. Not in like a sexy way disgusting, and like, I fucking hate you way. Clear fact stated. Okay. Being in your 40s as a virgin, you may feel the pressure. I don't know what it's like because I'm early, but I could see the correlation from my point of view. I think that you won't feel guilty about being a virgin, but you may feel a little bit of anxiety, agitation, a little rustiness. There's people that are late in life virgins. It's commonly known that they can't walk clean, they can't walk straight. They can hardly walk. And it goes from there. There's some people that are late in life virgins who can walk really well. But there's some late in life virgins who can't walk. But the main idea and the main subject is that people say they can't walk as a late in life virgin. It's not always true. There's a lot of people that works different. Everyone's different. Everyone has their different ways and stuff like that. You got to see it. The correlation and the aspects and, the vision that you witness, and you see what their personal behavior is like, being in the position of a late in life virgin. But if you're like 50, you can still walk good if you're strong. If you're too easy, it might go down the gutter a little bit. But as long as you walk, that's all you need to do. God gave you feet, just use them, no matter if you haven't had sex your whole life until you're 50 or not, It's just like that. But real people that lose their virginity early know about life. They're not studs, they're beasts in bed. I'm a beast in bed. I'm ready to fuck. I'll fuck first try. Having friends that aren't the coolest people, they're shitty friends. I'll probably only fuck the girl, not fuck around with her guy friends. I make sure guy friends, before I'd fuck anyone, I make sure the guy friends that are kind of faggots leave. They're kind of faggoty and stuff. I'd make sure they leave first so I could have, comfortable, unintimidated, peaceful moment in bed, with my lover, with my fellow partner, am not a big prejudice figure against toxic men, but faggoty men I am against. Not gay people. Like me, I'm not like gay or anything, but I'm cool with, gay and bisexual folks and transgender folks and any kind of bigender, anything that goes farther on the spectrum in the transgender community on the spectrum. I'm cool with queer people, anyone that goes far into the spectrum as far as just sexual orientation and sexuality, to the full spectrum, like people that are polyamorous, omni-based, umbrella term sexuality. I'm cool with that. How it works, everyone's weird, and you got all kinds of things, crazy things in the world. Nothing wrong with being a queer person, not gay, but just queer, like pansexual queer, whatever you are. I'm not too familiar with that, but that's the term they technologically and significantly and factually define that term as a person of that certain sexual orientation. As that, what I told you. It's all good, you get people and cultures even exist in that queer community. People you can meet in the ghetto, people can meet in certain cities, out in the wilderness, out in the middle of nowhere, that have that type of sexual orientation. So, okay. In the vlog, I'll talk more about the virginity. Virginity also includes people of, sexual orientations that are not considered to be anything that has the urge or the tendency of a sexual person, which I could see that being if you ain't sexual, like asexual. If you ain't sexual, you could be intimidated, you could be irritable, you could show some factors, unrelevant, attractions and unrelevant, urges and tendencies in that manner of that certain sexuality that does include being a sexual person, but known to be a orientation that you could fall in love with anyone. So that's good. That's good news. You have at least some. You're not alone. You're not, you're not just some numb person walking around that don't like anyone or love anyone. That's a good thing. That's a good fact to know. That people are like that. That deal with that certain sexuality, sexual orientation. To clarify, there are things such as sexual anxiety that maybe someone even of a sexual orientation that includes being heterosexual or straight can have sex anxiety, sexual anxiety, and kind of, mental disorder or state of mind that can prevent them from being totally relaxed and ready to be in bed, ready to get down, can affect you even in any kind of manic episode or manic state of mental health that can prevent you from being relaxed and more energetic and hyped to where you can't, really relate to someone because you're too busy working or too busy, focusing on things and not people. I nailed that one. I caught it with the hook. It's a big deal, to be manic, because you can do so many things in a manic state of mind, or a manic position, or a structured position within your human body and your human self and yourself that can prevent you from focusing on the now and the moment, being in the moment, being relaxed and calm and ready to have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, having a nice drink can prevent you. So I recommend meditation and trying to relax yourself as much as you possibly can to where you're in a stable state of mind, a stable position to where you're stable mentally, physically, to where you're relaxed and you can look at all your options of what you can do instead of just being on a rampage or pacing around hella fast, or pacing, what they call it, being repetitious, shit like that, because can affect your daily routine. The fact that the human body is proven to actually live on repetition. Very clarity based, due to the kind of behaviors, the state of physical, mental health you're in, that can affect you in ways that match a person who is unstable versus being stable. My point of view, what I see, and what I, witness and understand and hear about or see about and clearly, observe, and what makes sense and what kind of person they could be, or what kind of state of mind they could be in, what kind of mental disorder they have, what kind of qualities and capabilities that person has, in quantity along with quality and qualities, like I said. Why it matches someone being unstable is because unstable is just, repetitious, pacing around, manic, up and down. Stable is calmly relaxed, and you can enjoy life and the nature. You're peaceful, and you're just walking around, you're like, whoa, I'm so relaxed. It's amazing. You're so comfortable, and you can see all around you. You're aware, you're alert, cautious, conscientious, wealthy, doing well. So many beautiful things, and to be in a stable person than an unstable person. You'll find a lot more beautiful things than just a lot of little things if you're more stable. But be whatever you want to be, just be careful, and you should be good. Alright. So, we're going to go on the next topic, and that is pollution. And pollution is a part of life in our ecosystem that is affected negatively due to, people littering and releasing oils into the water that can be toxic, and, include toxins that can poison fish and wildlife predators and animals and species in the water. So, due to that, I think that if we have people that will make sure and control every single little pad or ripple or any kind of body of water, whether it's turbulence does clean out chemicals because it spins into waves and turbulence and turbulation that pushes out trash and certain toxins and toxic waste and chemicals that can poison species in the water, such as fish and stuff like that. But controlling every body of water and preventing oil from getting into bodies of water, whether it's lakes, rivers, ponds, ocean, delta, bay, to where there is no oil that affects the species in the water, and that is bad for our ecosystem and stuff like that. My point of view, I think that if you push away the oil spills and the pollution, we'll have a healthy ecosystem, healthy environment, healthy body of water, to where we could just take a swim, we could go fishing without all the fish being dead due to chemicals killing them. and stuff like that. So it'd be good. It'd be a better thing to get rid of pollution due to what it does and how it harms species and what it looks like in the water and how it affects fish we may want to keep and eat if it is legal to keep them in certain parts where you're fishing due to the regulations and rules and regulations. I think if we have more rain, it helps. It pushes away bodies of oil spills and chemicals. Oil spills and chemicals that are affecting and being neutrally effective or even structurally effective in coves and ponds as well. There's this weird guy that just drove by. He's kind of like giving me a little bit of nonsense and shit. I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but I don't know him. Probably beat his ass. And I would. So, bottom line, I think that if we just keep our water clean, we should be good. Okay, next topic. Obesity. Okay. Talking about obesity. Real men are respected in our life and world and humanity, and in humanity. Whether they're skinny or big, skinny, heavy, overweight, obese, fat, pH fat, whatever you want to call it. But the reason why I think that it's very even to be obese, whether you're a male or female, is because real men are respected and women are fuckable. So I think that either side of the spectrum between men and women who are obese should not be a problem to be obese. How to not be so obese would be to eat less, to exercise more, because when you exercise, you're burning calories and you're burning fat. I think it's good, for the oils you consuming in your body to have less fatty foods, more healthy foods, but you can have sodium, some oily foods and stuff like that. I think that'll work out well as long as you exercise a lot and keep your body nourished throughout the day and hydrated at an amount that is more successful. And that would probably be an average amount, or a little over an average amount, from I see. Not too little, because you need to stay hydrated. So I think it should be good as long as you're a little bit hydrated. It's bad, and more hydrated is good. So as long as, you keep it to that, I think you should be totally good. Financial suffering. Okay. Financial suffering, and what financial suffering comes from it's from a lack of work to earn money, a lack of education, more dipping out of class and smoking and doing drugs, and which is fine. It's normal to be a teenager and do a lot of drugs and drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes and smoke weed. But financial suffering comes from a lack of work and a lack of responsibility that leads you into debt and leads you into a position where you have less money. You don't have so much money. You can barely rent a home, a room. As long as you work hard and you work a lot, and you keep working and stay consistent, and don't lack any kind of, money option to make money through working and, making the dollar, making the minimum wage, maximum wage, whether you work in a warehouse, fast food restaurant, anywhere. As long as, you could work and consistently work to where you could keep on paying for your daily needs and shelter and housing in your actual house, to where that could make you to where you're not in the position that makes you like have less money or homeless, all kinds of things. What you want to do is you want to keep consistently working to maintain this amount of money that does pay for your daily needs. So there's fast food restaurants that can make minimum wage. You could start a business, be a CEO, co-founder, and shit like that, and be a boss, a manager, where people work for you and they get their dollar, and you get the big amount, and you make your money because it's your company. And you keep on selling products, being legitimate and stuff like that. So we're going to go on to the next topic. Underage drinking. Okay. Now, these are things you need to know. Drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Don't drive drunk. Don't drive buzzed. Stay aware. Stay conscious. Stay alert. I'd recommend you not to be intoxicated or highly intoxicated or very intoxicated, because you want to be conscious, conscientious, alert, and aware of your surroundings due to people who will try to harm you if you're intoxicated, to where you make the stupid, wrong decisions and moves, and you are not aware, you are not alert. You don't know what you're doing, and they happen to do something sick to you. The wrong person. So it's like that. You can drink at a young age. It's normal for people at a young age to drink. Why that is because when you're a teenager, you want to get fucked up. You want to have fun. You want to drink with your guy friends and girlfriends. You want to smoke cigarettes, smoke weed. Like a lot of people who happen to be in the community of the ghetto or the gangster community who tend, I believe that a lot of gangsters, are into weed. There's a lot. I won't say most or everyone, but a lot of gangsters are into marijuana, smoking weed. That comes along with, smoking weed as a teenager, and even in a community of types of people, if you're a gangster or a thug, or, want to be gangster like a lot of people are in the neighborhoods, in their teens and early adulthood, so it's like that. It is normal to drink at a young age. It is normal to smoke at a young age. It is normal to smoke weed at a young age. But you have to be responsible even at a young age, so you don't overdose or get alcohol poisoning and stuff like that. So all you gotta do is just be careful. Just be careful. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta be careful. And I think that that wouldn't be a problem as long as, you know, you drink responsibly and be careful. I think you're good. Okay, next subject. Fraud and hackers. Okay. There's fraud. There's people that try to commit fraud in order to be proud of their criminal act or to commit crimes and to make money. To commit fraud in order to get money because they're in a position that isn't good. So their way to make money and their way of doing that is to commit fraud. Keep all your things organized. Keep all your things close. And there's one thing you do not want to do. And that is to give out all your information. So it's like that. Fuck away. Fuck you. Fuck out of here. What's up? Fuck out of here. As the way to make money, do not give out all your information. It's the most stupid decision you can make. Because it not increases, but it exists in Russian people too. A lot of Russian criminals will commit fraud, but Russians are cool. It's just a few skunks out there, a few toxic idiots. They'll do that shit. So it's like that. Now, say, if, hackers, speaking of hackers, the government is corrupt. Let some shit go, but try to pick on the things that really piss you off and irritate you through corruption and crooked crimes and crooked government and people, through the skunks, certain snakes that you wouldn't like. But try to finesse you and piss you off and play you and make you mad through fuckery. Try to focus on picking on that, Government corruption is cultivated, so you have people on the move, try to pick on the best, and try to bring the best down and try to, mess with them just for money. And that's true, and government corruption includes through technology. And fuckery is a big thing on, toxicness through technology, because people that say things they would never say in front of their parents, people would never expect them to say, but believe it or not, they say it. They say it. These evil things. These evil, vicious things. Music interference, okay. Being introduced into the world of punk, rock and roll, rock, jazz, rap, pop, hip-hop, R&B. It's all introduction from what people see on the media, on the TV, on their computers, and in music videos. Screenplays, screen covers, albums. They click the play button and it plays the song, which they hear. I'm a big fan of punk rock. I like Green Day, Blink-182, any kind of alternative music. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Keen, Finger 11, any kind of like music like Simple Minds is cool, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I dig. I'll say a few more. Nickelback, Finger 11, and shit like that. You know, pretty cool music. Any kind of music like, you know, I don't know. Phoenix is cool. You know, and stuff like that. Big fan of. You know, I like rock, you know, I like Nickelback, like I said, you know, any kind of country music like Rascal Flatts, Garth Brooks, Brad Paisley, Luke Bryan, you know, any kind of like person like Tim McGraw and stuff like that, you know, Shania Twain, like those people. Now speaking of like, you know, pop, Justin Bieber, Jason Derulo, Sam Smith, you know, I love that shit. You know, I'm all about people's like, you know, music artists like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez. You know, I'm a big fan of, you know, like people's like Taylor Swift. You know, like people like Flo Rida, you know, and shit like that. Adam Levine, you know, pretty cool. All kinds of people, you know, and it's a lot, and I like rap, I like Public Enemy, I like Straight Outta Compton, you know, and kind of like people like, you know, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, you know, Chance the Rapper, Method Man, you know, there's a lot of them, like 50 Cent, 50 Cent's cool, you know, all kinds of shit. You know, I'm a big fan of stuff like that, and I think that being introduced to music is a good thing, and then there's a good chance you could join a band. You'll meet celebrities, you know, if you get to the concerts, and you get your autograph signed and get front row tickets, you know, you can do good with that, and shit like that. All kinds of stuff. And, so let's go to the last topic. And that would be global warming. Okay, guys. We have a lot. You know, we have a lot of things. You know, and there's things that are affected, you know, surround, you know, and are parts of, you know, nature and wildlife, outdoors, wilderness, civilization, including suburban homes, Victorian houses, any kind of condo studios. There's things that are part of global warming, like elevation and the law of gravity, to where gravity works its own ways, to where you can't just like go upside down and be able to walk. You have to be on the ground, unless you're wearing sticker shoes and stuff like that, shoes that stick to the walls that people use in even stunts, or even in movie stunts, to be honest. Any kind of videos that includes and stuff like that. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty dope. What I like the fact that, you know, you have elevation and you have wildlife, the mountains, tons of rivers, you know, and all kinds of shit. You know, you have all kinds of parts of the world, all kinds of cities, all places to visit and to explore and to discover, shit like that. You got so much stuff, you know, it's all over the place, you know, there's all kinds of shit, there's all kinds of things, you know, and basically, like, you know, explore the nature and shit, you know, it's all about, basically, like, things to learn about and things to see and watch, you know, things to explore and adventure, and all kinds of shit, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, and life's beautiful, and life could never get bigger. You have so much stuff to see, so much stuff to learn, and so much stuff to just live and be part of, and there's no limit. It's fucking amazing. Alright guys, comment.